Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Chat Once Upon a Time. We just saw episode 2 of season 5 called The Price, in which we find out that some price was paid in Camelot by Regina to save her true love Robin. And it was kind of interesting. I have mixed feelings about the whole episode, so we can just kind of start off at the beginning. It did flashback a lot between present day and Camelot, which kind of, I feel like I like it like that. We see one scene in Camelot, we see one scene in present day Storybrooke, and, we did see once again the dwarves taking it upon themselves to check the town line, and poor Dopey's now a tree, and Sneezy's a stone statue. We're down to 5 dwarfs. Perhaps maybe they should stop with the self-volunteering at the town line. It's going to run into just Grumpy being left, and that's just not pleasant for anybody. What else happened in this episode? Lots of things kind of happened. It's really hard to kind of just talk about it. So I made notes. See, here on the laptop. I took notes this time around. So here is basically what I wrote. We have Killian made a really good point last week when he said that Emma didn't look like a crocodile. But then we started to see her skin changing in this episode, and that was because she actually started giving into the darkness to save Robin. So her hands started to glitter a little bit, i.e. like a crocodile. Well, kind of. So it's kind of interesting that turn, that the more you give into the darkness, the more your skin looks like it was doused by body glitter at a rave. So you might want to be careful, because that's just not a good look for anybody. We saw Henry summon Emma and ask her what happened, and as kind of a lot of us guessed last week, when she said that, everyone was being punished and it was everyone's fault, she wasn't really talking about Henry, and I have a feeling she also wasn't talking about Killian. When she turned last week and said, you are being punished, she specifically turned away from Killian and Henry and was talking to everybody else. So I have a feeling she's mad at the rest of the town, but not her boys. So Henry summoned Emma, was slightly scared of her, which I don't understand. If he's the author and he's got the heart of the truest believer, I don't know why he would be scared of his mother, but okay. Regina swooped in and did the whole get away from my son and all that sorts of bit, and words were exchanged, and Emma basically told Regina, you're not the savior. Nobody has faith that you can be in the savior. I built this curse without having a savior in mind, so, good luck breaking it. Peace out. We see Killian then by the beloved yellow bug, basically saying, I don't want to summon you, Swan, and yet he kind of did by accident. And she whooshes them away to her new place. So I will say, at least Emma finally did get her own place, and she's no longer expected to be the Dark One and sharing an apartment with her parents and baby brother. So, kudos for that. And it has turrets, which technically is what Snow always wanted, was a house with turrets. I'd hate to think who lived in that house before her, but, maybe it's just like the Dark One's mansion, kind of like, how the governor's house or something like that. The Dark One just automatically gets property when they make a curse. Killian tried again for True Love's kiss, and even though we all know him and Emma are true love, it just doesn't seem to want to be happening with those two. This is, I don't know how many times that they've tried this kiss, but she's not budget on this one, and she then tried to offer up a drink and some maybe other activities to her pirate, and I will say Killian did not give in, and I'm kind of happy that Killian didn't give in. He stood his ground, he manned up, and he walked out, and he probably regretted that the minute that door shut, but he didn't, he stood his ground, he didn't give in. I like that. Let's see, okay, so we finally saw Henry's first crush as Violet. I do like how no matter what realm or what dance you're in, the teenagers are always going to be wallflowers. It doesn't matter. It's nice to see continuity, across all that. Continuity, or whatever that word is. We saw Henry and Violet share a song through the iPod, so kudos to Apple Technology for working in multiple realms. Good to know. And then at the end of the episode, I liked how the same song that Henry shared with Violet on the iPod at the ball is the same song that they listened to at the jukebox. And I like that song, so I really need to figure out what song that was. Let's just talk a little bit about Emma Swan's Dark Swan wardrobe, the all black. Of course, I naturally love all black. It goes really well with the white hair, I feel. But, you know, I'm kind of digging the all black, you know, little white dress and the very chic as hell trench coat. I really want to find out who makes that trench coat as well. And of course there's the leather jacket with, you know, the lacy tails at the end. Really digging her wardrobe, and I like that they're keeping the makeup simple. They're not making her all like crazy, you know, smoky eyes and all that. It's just very simple, bold brows, red lip, pale skin. It works. So I really feel like the big takeaway from this thing was Regina was trying to be the savior, and we saw in Camelot she used the dagger on Emma a couple of times to stop her from saying she was the savior, but then when Regina's magic couldn't save Robin, she basically kind of guilt-tripped Emma a little bit into using her Dark One magic to save Robin, which is going to have snowballing effects. But then we saw her again, Regina, taking credit for Emma's deeds to Arthur. And I'm starting to wonder if possibly some of this, you know, taking the credit away from Emma is what forced Emma's hand into really embracing her darkness and becoming the full Dark One. It's going to be really interesting to see how that whole storyline plays out. And then one of the big, I think, overall takes from this episode was once again reminding everyone that magic comes with a price. There is no such thing as a free pass with magic. All magic comes with a price, and we saw that by Robin being saved, it was a price, and that price did not get paid, so they tried to take Robin's life away again. And then at the end, when, you know, Rumple as the Dark One's voice, or whatever, basically was showing Emma Excalibur, which is back in its stone, by the way, that a price is going to need to be paid to pull that sword back from the stone. I think that's going to be one of the big overall story arcs, is the price of magic and what people are willing to do to pay that price. What are some other notables that I can think of? Belle is starting to look a little pathetic carrying around that stupid rose everywhere she goes. Maybe, you know, put a nanny cam on it or something and leave it at the office. It's just a little sad that her date to the ball was a rose, a wilting rose, and that's a little sad. At the end we did see Sneezy is no longer in stone form, so welcome back, Sneezy. There's also just lots of steamy goodness for the Captain Swan shippers like me. We got a couple of good kisses out of our OTP, our One True Pairing. Yeah, so I think that's kind of it for this week's episode of The Price. Once again, I'll have a full recap up on Entertainista.com, and for more of my musings, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. All the links are down below, including a link to the website, my blog, Entertainista.com, which is where the recap will be. And until then, I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye!